Jimmy, how do I find out the value of my home? Well, you know what? This is actually a very, very common question. I come across it all the time. And today we're going to answer it. We're going to give you the top 4 ways that you can use to figure out the value of your home. So let's jump into it. Okay, hey folks, how you doing? My name is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate professional, and today we're going to answer the question that's on so many people's minds. How in the heck do I figure out what my property's worth, or how do I value my home?
Show me how it works.
Well, actually, like I said, there are 4 different ways you can do it, and we're going to talk about those from the least reliable all the way down to the most reliable and the one that you should probably choose. So let's jump right into it.
Follow me.
Way number 1, and that is to use your local assessor's office. That's right, the same people who are charging your taxes, you can rely on them to determine the value of your home.
It's a well-functioning government agency.
Generally speaking, there's an old wives' tale that said your state equalized value, or the amount that your home is actually taxed on, if you take that amount and multiply it by 2, then you have the value of your home. And you know, that's one way to do it. And like I said, you got to remember though, the assessor's office or whatever your municipality's treasury, whichever one they use, they are using that number to estimate the amount of taxes that you're going to pay on your home. Because remember, the amount of taxes that you actually pay is your taxable value of your home multiplied by whatever your millage rate is. Okay. So might be a little tainted, right? It is what it is. It's based on a statistical modeling methodology called mass appraisal that does not really take into account the uniqueness of your property, but kind of looks at properties all as in the aggregate. So that's way number 1. Use the SEV or state equalized value that your assessor provides to you. All right. Way number 2, you can always hit the old interweb and punch up any of the automatic valuation models such as Zillow or such as Redfin or something like that. Of course, they know everything. They have all the data. Now, here's the thing about using AVMs. AVMs are a wonderful tool to help you estimate kind of where your home could be, right? And the reason I say it that way is because, again, AVMs are not specific to your particular property. Now, and why does that matter? Because AVMs, again, they do a mass appraisal method, but it's a little bit more accurate. They tweak it a little bit more. The only problem, though, is that they take in all the data. There's very little differentiation. And again, they're not as accurate as you think they might. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, the actual owner and creator of the Zillow algorithm lives out in California, and he wanted to sell his house. So of course, he's the owner of Zillow. So what did he do? He got a Zillow estimate. A Zestimate, I believe is what they call it. They got that Zillow Zestimate, and whatever that number was, he put his house on the market. It was for some ridiculous number, like millions of dollars for his home. Because again, he's in California. And of course, he's the creator of Zillow. So, you know, that's what you would expect. So anyway, long and short of it, come to find out that after his home set on the market for that price that his estimate created, it set on the market for well over a year. Nobody would come. There were no buyers in the market. And this was during a time frame where it wasn't a recession. It wasn't any major thing going on. And of course, you're in Silicon Valley. So, you know, it's not like people don't have money, right? Problem was his estimate was based off of things that really don't matter.
I have absolutely nothing to offer
to homeowners. Matter of fact, someone actually did buy his property for 40% less than what the Zestimate indicated. Now, I don't know about you, but 40% less is 40% less. So, you know, when you're using the AVM, it is a model. It is not the actual landscape. I think that was an NLP term, right? The map is not the landscape, or something like that.
Wow. Deep.
All right, so that's number 2, use AVMs. Number 3, and this one is a decent one. People use this one oftentimes, and that is to use a realtor. That's right. Pick up the phone, call your local realtor. You probably know 15 or 20 of them already. It's really easy to do. They will have the advantage of actually visiting your property, or if it's the case of a friend, they probably already been to your house, right? They probably already know what some of the amenities that you have and some of the amenities that you don't have.
What's he watching the house for?
So they have a better understanding about where your house is and how they can position your house in the broader market. Now, here's the challenge though. The challenge with realtors is not necessarily that they don't know how to value properties. The challenge with realtors is that they are looking at this property from the eyes of a realtor, meaning what can I sell this house for? What's the maximum amount that I can sell this house for? Which may or may not be actually true, right? There's a saying in the real estate market that says listings are wishes. Anybody can list your house for anything, right? That doesn't mean somebody's going to pay that much for it. Plain and simple. So realtors, they're looking through more of a wish lens, I should say. And that's perfectly okay. 8 out of 10 times it actually works, the truth be told. So that's one of the ways you can do it. The other thing about using a realtor is this. And, I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't particularly like to abuse my friends and professionals, period. For instance, if I bring in a realtor, that tells the realtor, or that's a signal to the realtor that you are interested in selling and or buying the property, right? If you are not interested in doing that and you're just bringing one in to find out what your home is worth, I don't know. I think that's kind of misleading to the realtor. I personally believe that. As a broker myself, that's kind of how I take that. I recognize that there are some realtors and brokers out there who advertise the idea that, hey, we'll tell you what your home is worth for free. But let's be honest, right? This is their profession. This is how they feed their families. And if they're feeding their families by providing free analysis services, how long are they going to be able to feed their family? Let's be real. It is what it is.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Alrighty. So if you're going to choose that route, and that's a perfectly legitimate route to choose, it's definitely better than using the property assessor's office, and it's definitely better than just relying on the AVM. If you're going to use that amount, please be upfront with your realtor. You make sure that they understand that, hey, look, I'm just trying to find out what this house is valued at. I don't know if I'm going to sell it, yay or nay. Or I don't know if I'm going to buy it, yay or nay. I just want to know what it's worth. Plain and simple. Best way to do it, always be honest. All right. And number 4, and this is probably by far, I think is the best way to do it. And that is to engage the services of a local real estate appraiser. And here's why you want to engage the services of a local real estate appraiser. 1, because it's actually their job to value properties. That's what we do. As a local real estate professional, a local real estate appraiser, I can tell you that we appraise probably 400 to 500 houses a year. And again, that is our job. My education and our educational experiences are all geared towards figuring out what a home should sell for to the typical home buyer in a given market, wherever those market conditions are, okay? So again, by using the services of an appraiser, you get to benefit from all of those years of experience and the specific education that we've had in this particular area, okay? And again, this is a service that appraisers offer, but again, you'll have to pay for it.
Shut up and take my money.
But it is pennies based on all the other stuff that you're talking about here. So again, when you're choosing an appraiser, I suggest this though. Don't just choose any appraiser. Don't just pick up the phone and go and find the cheapest appraiser you can find, right? Why? Because you kind of get what you pay for oftentimes.
And that's fact.
That sounds a little self-serving, but it's true, right? You don't have to pay your firstborn kid, but at the same time, you do understand that, again, this is a profession. People are trained to appraise properties. They spend a lot of time, energy, and money to do that. And I'll put it this way. If you needed a cardiologist and you had the opportunity to go to somebody who's seen a surgery that may have had a heart in it, or somebody who's actually performed that surgery thousands of times, spent hundreds of hours trying to figure out all the things associated with the heart and trying to figure out those best ways and become the best professional that they can, which one is the best service? Same thing with appraisers, right? Cheaper is not always better. It is what it is. So there you have it. The best way for sure to figure out how much your home is worth is always to rely on the services of a local appraisal company that has, 1, a good reputation in the market, 2, highly professional, and 3, somebody that you can get along with. Because again, it's got to be a one-on-one relationship, right? You got to be able to feel comfortable to ask questions and to understand the process. And they should be willing to share those things with you. So there you have it, my 4 different ways that you can use to figure out the value of your home. And if you are in southeastern Michigan, specifically in Wayne, Oakland, Macomb counties, if you're in any of those 3 counties or around Metro Detroit, I would suggest you give us a call over at Renaissance Appraisal. Like I said, this is our business. This is what we do, and we'd be happy to help you. Alrighty, this is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate professional, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.